So we are back with some extra audio, interviewing, I guess you can say, talking to my old friend Kaz Deck. So I want to get right into what we all came here for. Alan Jackson.
Oh my God.
Oh, hang on one second.
Oh, you need anything?
I don't know what I asked myself.
No worries. Y'all good, man.
You can just
Yeah,
edit that out, right?
I'm in a fraternity, so that happens all the damn time. You got
All right.
guys coming in and out.
All right. So,
Kaz was he was back in Ohio last month, and we were getting some food and stuff, and we were talking about this podcast, country artists that we like. My girlfriend is Alan Jackson has gotten her into country music, and Kaz had said he's actually through marriage kind of related to Alan Jackson and has actually met his sisters. So tell us a little bit about that.
yeah. So my mom married her husband Steve, and her daughter Tiffany, his daughter Tiffany, married Alan Jackson's nephew. So it's Alan Jackson's sister's son is my stepsister's husband. So
It was less confusing when we figured
yeah,
it out.
So
isn't it like your stepbrother?
So my stepsister's husband is Alan Jackson's nephew.
That's not a far connection, really. It's more confusing to say, but that's not far at all.
Yeah, right. So I went to their wedding down in Georgia. I'm not going to say the city because I don't want to put that out there, but they live in Georgia, and I went to their wedding, and I was looking around. They had like horses running around and like white picket fences and like in-ground pool and the nice sweeping willows. And I was like, man, how much do you pay for this venue? And my sister was like, venue? Like, this is my house. It's like, wow, it's a really nice house. So I was looking around, and then it kind of came up, and that I was related to Alan Jackson. And so he was supposed to come to the wedding and do some music. For whatever reason, he didn't. I was really upset about that because I kind of wanted to meet him and listen to him live. But obviously his sister was there because it was his
That's
that would be awesome.
Yeah, that is a very interesting story.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Alan Jackson, listening to his music. And I didn't know that, like, I honestly think that story is just a testament to how small of a world it actually is. Like, we think we live in this huge world, and it's not possible that, we'd ever come close to meeting any of our people that we idolize, guys that we hold in such high regard. And I definitely think that this your story there and how, like, and what you said really speaks to the fact that it's a small world, man. Like, who knows? You could be living next to Alan Jackson, see Bon Jovi on the plane. Actually, that happened to my uncle once. But the thing is, that's awesome, man. That's just awesome.
Yeah, that's super cool. I mean, one of the best, really. I mean, he's well respected in kind of the new country and the old country. He actually just came out with a new album. It was a few days ago. We listened to it. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. Keep us in touch if you ever do meet Mr. Jackson. So there we go.
Yeah. I'll let you know. Yeah, I'll let you know for sure.
So the second thing is your grandpa. So I heard he's a bit of a musician himself. What is his musical kind of career / endeavors? What does that look like? Was he in a band or solo?
He was in a lot of bands. He was basically a vagabond from, in the most respectful way I can say, vagabond from I don't know, probably 17 years old to, I mean, even now he's still making music and stuff like that. And he lives over in Wellington, but he went through, I don't know, probably a dozen bands, maybe more. He played bass. He played a little guitar, but he mostly does bass. He thinks he's a singer, but he's not a very good singer. But he looks like Santa Claus. Met well, he just looks like Santa Claus. But he's gone through Texas. He's been all over the states and everything, playing music for different people for 20 plus years, into his late 30s, early 40s and stuff, and then let me think here. Oh, so probably told me like one of the highlights of his career is I think he was in Texas, and his band that he was with at the time got to open up for Bob Seger at some outdoor concert. I don't know what year it was. I'd have to get a hold of him and ask him about the details, or maybe we can even get him on the podcast. I'm not sure if he knows how
Gotta
Zoom
do
works,
that.
but
Cool.
he's told me all kinds of crazy stories, like not even stuff with band, just being on the road, like what it's like being on the road. And he sometimes like his car would break down, so he'd work at some auto detailing shop or something for 2 weeks to get enough money to fix his car, and then he'd get back on the road. And one time he was working in a shop, and you know what ball lightning is?
No.
Ball lightning. Yeah, I've heard it's an interesting phenomenon, isn't it?
It went through the shop and then went out the door and like grounded itself. So it was like this, like, and
Weird.
but there's all kinds of stuff like that he's told me about. But I'm sure if we get him on the podcast, he can tell you a lot more. He could talk for days.
We'd love to have him on. So, the last thing I was going to kind of ask you is, since high school, what have you been up to? What's the journey? How did you get to California? All that.
Well, it all started with a random phone call. I was living in Columbus. I was an electrician, which is I went to school for when I was in high school. And I got this phone call from some guy like, "Hey, is this Justin?" And I said, "No, got the wrong number." He's like, "I'm sorry, have a good day." But I was like, "Hey, who's this?" And he said, "Oh, I'm so and so from this aviation school. We do like airplane maintenance and stuff like that." So I thought it was pretty cool. And I was pretty much done being an electrician. It was kind of boring. So I told him I was interested, and I set up an interview. And I went to Michigan, and I liked the school, so I stayed there. I moved, Alex. I moved in with Alex's aunt for about a year and a half, and stayed there with all of his cousins. So yeah, I moved in there, and then I started going to school, and then I eventually moved with one of my classmates and lived in Ann Arbor for a little while, and then graduated and kind of moved back to Ohio for a little bit, and then moved down to Florida, and I was selling windshields at a at a car dealership, waiting because I got hired by United, but I had to wait like 6 months for the guy I'm replacing to retire. But this time my student loan bills were piling up, so I was looking for something. And one of my old friends from school started with this company here in California, so I got a hold of him, and he just told me he sent me a link. He said, sign up and see if they call you. They called me in like 2 days later, and within a week I was on a plane out here to go for the actual interview, and moved out here with like $85. Had to wait 3 weeks for
Damn.
gas and food. So I was eating coconuts and all kinds of stupid stuff. Anything that was cheap. And then, so now I fix airplanes, live in Southern California. I've just moved up into the mountains. It's a lot nicer up here than being in the desert. So very comfy here.
That's awesome. Yeah, I wanna go visit you. We're thinking about
Come
in the
on
winter.
out.
We're thinking about winter time because we went Northern California in February. Perfect time to go. It's really crappy weather
I
here.
agree.
So we're thinking around the same time. So I'd love to see that. Mountains sounds great.
So much hiking, canyons here. I drive my car around the canyons all the time. I blare my exhaust really loud, and it's great driving. And then you get out in the wild here, and it's It's picturesque, you know, the mountains and the mist and everything. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
you'll enjoy it.
No, that's awesome. Living out in California. I wish someday I got to go back. I haven't been in a while. I think the last time I went was like 2011, or actually
Wow.
2010. 2010. It's been a decent 10 years since I've been, but I got to go back sometime. They have good skiing up north, from what I've heard, so I want to go plan a
There's
ski trip.
about 3/4 of a mile down the road from me is a ski resort. It's not open right now because it's all dirt. But
Oh yeah. Oh, that's
yeah, so
awesome.
if you guys come out, you know, you guys can you can definitely you can find you someplace to hang out here, so you don't have to pay for a hotel and everything. So
Nice. No,
What is
sounds
that
good.
background noise? It sounds like a dog humping a swing set.
it's my girlfriend. She's using a pepper grinder in the kitchen. She's
Ah.
trying to make food.
That I can see that, but I thought of the other. Sounded like a swing set. How creaky it was. All right, cool. Well, that's gonna be it for today, I guess. So thanks for coming on, man. Tell your friends, especially any musical friends, any folk kind of country. Love to have them on. We don't really turn people away here, so.
Oh, I was just gonna say I can think of a few folk. I'd say folk. I think it's a harpsichord. Like it's like a
Yeah, the
what is it, a
harpsichord.
lute? Is that what it is? Or you play with your fingers like a banjo, but it's like it sits on your lap.
We love them. Love them to be on.
All right.
Yes. We will see you guys next time.